Welcome to Australia, home to round 13 of the World Rally Championship. Rally Australia is the penultimate event in a series which began back in January in Monte Carlo. Based in Perth, the capital of Western Australia, the rally heads into the outback for the 24 gravel stages, with day 1 to the south, day 2 to the east, and then day 3 to the southeast of the host city. The scenery may be beautiful, but it's one of the hazards here. Francois Delacour's co-driver Daniel Buckley broke his pelvis, ankle and 2 ribs, and bruised a lung in this horrific accident on day 1.
We have clutch slip, big clutch slip.
Day 1 also saw the retirement of Richard Burns, one of the men battling to finish as runner-up in the World Championship to Finland's Marcus Gronholm. Another driver embroiled in that fight is Colin McRae, but after a frustrating first day, the Ford driver would retire on the next, breaking the car's radiator in this heavy landing.
Landed right on the nose on its radiator, so we've got no water left in the engine.
Others were also caught out by the Australian bush. Yanni Parson and Roland his Mitsubishi, also on day 2. The damage, though, was soon repaired. The rally's first 2 days were dominated by another Finn, Marcus Gronholm. His win in New Zealand 3 weeks ago means he's already secured the world title, but any hopes the others had that he'd relax looked to have been dashed. Gronholm started day 3 with a lead of nearly 50 seconds over Subaru's Solberg. Solberg, however, has driven superbly all weekend. Four stages, integration and performance.
I'm thinking about Marcus. I'm going to try to beat him.
But he doesn't need to keep one eye on the managed third place. Fourth placed Carlos Sainz is the best of the 4 drivers going into the final day. A close encounter with a local is only real scare. Fifth is Tommy Mackinnon, finally happy with the car's handling after transmission work on the second day, but behind the Impreza is a real scrap between 2 teammates. It's hard to believe that Belgium's Francois Duval is only 21 years old, but even so, he leads his more experienced colleague Marco Martin by just 8/10 of a second, with both the Ford drivers lucky to escape a similar fate to Colin McRae on the Muresk stage. With just the final 4 stages remaining, Gronholm's lead looks enormous, although the remainder of the point-scoring top 6 places are far from decided. It's a different story among the chasing pack, with only Martin looking likely to attack on the final day, but that scrap for 11th place could also be worth watching. A little over 71 kilometres of stages would decide the rally, with only 46 of the original 69 cars still in the event, and the weather forecast promising clear blue skies and sunshine.
Marcus, with 105 kilometres left, in many ways it's a rally for you to lose and not win.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, it's still 100 k's and everything is possible, but without no stupid mistakes from me, so it should be okay.
Would you be happy to finish second?
Yeah, can't complain for that, but we have to wait to do all the stages first, because look at New Zealand, it happened on the next last.
Phil, just describe for us this morning the nature of the stages. Are they very different from the other stages?
Yeah, they're very much different to yesterday. Yesterday was very narrow with the trees very close to the road. Here they're very, very wide and open, almost like Africa in places. Very, very fast.
All 4 of the final day stages were in the Bannister Forest, although the area is better known by the name of the company which owns that forest, Sotico. The virtual spectator overview of the Bannister Central stage confirms the long straights and 90-degree corners, but it doesn't show the massive jumps which make the rally's final day so popular with the fans. Stage 21 was the first and shortest of the day's 4. Again, the final day sees the running order reversed, so the Skoda of Kenneth Eriksson was the first to lead the start. It is, however, the finish of the stage which is perhaps the most famous stretch of road in the entire championship. Juha Kankkunen completing a stage over a second quicker than Ericsson.
6 left, jump
Marco Martin
down.
and co-driver Michael Park headed down the
6 right,
jumps
over
towards the
jump,
finish,
20,
aware that their
6
main
left,
rivals
over
were their
jump.
Ford teammates, Francois Duval
17,
and
4
Jean-Marc
plus left
Fortin.
into 3 plus right, quarter. 2 left. 3 right. 20, 3 plus right, 4 left.
Let's follow the Belgian pair as they head over the jumps. Keep an eye on the clock. So, 6th place was Martin's once again. Ahead of that battle though, and their minds were set on snatching 4th place from Carl Sainz and Lewis Moyer. The Super had a puncture, but the new system did its job and no time was lost. The Ford pair, however, had very different ideas. They stormed through the stage. Had two aims, to stay ahead of Sainz and to attack Peter Solberg's 2nd place. Rear bodywork flapping, the film flew over the jumps and charged down the hill toward the water splash. He'd take 3 seconds off Sainz's time, so his first aim had been achieved, but the second of those aims now depended on Solberg.
Caution 30, early 6 left rush, keep in the request and dip, and keep right to the quick jump 30, keep middle of a jump 80.
The Norwegian would be slower still though. Over 5 seconds would be lost to the Peugeot driver, and so the gap was now down to under 20. Marcus Grunholm, of course, had no one to fight with, and he was 3rd quickest behind Rovanpera and Sainz, now surely only 3 stages away from his 3rd successive win in Australia. Let's call in the services of the virtual spectator to compare 5 drivers as they tackle the pair of jumps. Rovanpera is by far the quickest of the 5 into the first jump, and despite the fact that time spent in the air is usually regarded as time wasted, just look at how far he leaps. Spectacular, fast, and millimetre perfect. No wonder Peugeot were quick to sign the Finn as their 3rd driver for the gravel events. Stage down, 3 to go, and this was how things stood. Grunholm's lead was now almost 50 seconds, with Rovanpera edging closer to Solberg and Sainz pulling away from Mäkinen. Martin had now grabbed 6th, but Duval was unlikely to let the Estonian have things his own way for too long. Stage 22, and it was clear that the locals were awake. Kenneth Eriksson and Tina Turner have had one disappointment after another this weekend. The Swedish pair were 11th after a loose turbo pipe, brake problems, and now a howl in their intercom system caused by water from his drinks bottle. Tony Gardemeister and Paavo Lukka in the other Octavian were 8th. The Finns able to do each other perfectly. Sebastian Loeb and Daniel Elena had come to Australia to learn, ready for next season. The Citroën was 9th, with Gardemeister's Skoda now a long way ahead. The battle for 6th place between the 2 Ford drivers continued on stage 22, with Marco Martin furious at himself for one slight error. It wasn't surprising, he and Duval were still just 0.4 of a second apart.
150, easy left in. 50, flat right. 150, 6 minus left fast. Crest, keep right, and easy right. 80, crest.
Duval also made a mistake on the stage, but despite a half spin, this 7 seconds quicker than Martin, 6th place had again changed hands.
Sommet gauche à fond, pour sommet à fond. 75 mètres, sommet à fond absolu, et frein pour 75 mètres, il est droit de 40. Et frein. Il est droit de 40. Attention, on va louper.
Tommy Mäkinen saw no repeat of the puncture he'd suffered on the previous stage. He'd be third fastest this time, the rally now effectively a test for next year, with the Finn trying different settings in an attempt to squeeze some extra speed from the Impreza. Little did Mäkinen or Sainz know, however, that stage 22 would see a change to the leaderboard.
Sobre tierra, frenando para izquierda buena y conduce mucho ras, muy importante esa izquierda buena y conduce mucho ras, 2, la rápida, vaya.
The roll caused by the wheels digging into the ruts in that slow corner didn't cost that much time in itself, but the turbo had been damaged, and it was a battered Ford Focus which passed the team's mid-stage pit board, giving Sainz the bad news that he was about to drop to fifth behind Mäkinen. Again, watch the clock to see just how much time the incident had cost.
Menos a fondo para izquierda rápida para uno, derecha rápida por de tierra, abrirse. Derecha buena más en quinta, se abre por dentro fin. Bueno, más en quinta, se abre por dentro fin. Frenando para izquierda buena en tierra, uno. Rasante en derecha buena más con fe para uno corto. Izquierda buena más en quinta de tierra, 2. Next through the stage would be unaware of the drama until he reached the finish, although hanging on to third place was no longer the main aim.
Follow, man.
Harry stormed through the 28 kilometres, setting a blistering pace for Solberg to aim for. The Subaru driver, though, had chosen a hard tyre compound for the pair of stages, and that choice looked to have been a mistake. There was hardly any grip, the Impreza slipping and sliding on the gravel. Time loss was inevitable, but would Solberg also lose his second place?
Tightens minus half long, 60. Keep left of a crest into 5 right minus tightens, and unseat each of 4 left tightens. 120. Crest and dip, 6 left.
Yes, he would.
No grip, Bill. No grip at all.
Grunholm, now almost a sideshow to the dramas unfolding behind him on the leaderboard, decided to provide some excitement of his own. The rally leader, lucky to escape this moment unscathed. That leaderboard now looked very different. The name at the top might not have changed, but Rovanperä was now second, Mäkinen fourth, and Duval sixth, all in just one stage. Marco Martin, however, was determined to retake that sixth place again, and so this was a battle which looked set to go down to the wire. At service after stage 22, Sainz's Ford Focus could receive some attention from the mechanics. The team physio could see to the driver's back, and the co-driver could talk us through exactly what happened on that corner.
We have some ball bearings on top of the road that makes the roads very, very slippery. There is a lot of junctions as well that becomes very loose and rutted, and it's also quite difficult to take them sometimes. Sometimes you find some rocks in the ruts, like it happened to us on this particular stage, and that is what it happened. We caught the rock on the ruts and then we roll. Didn't lose so much time, started immediately, but unfortunately a pipe of the turbo came loose. So we lost the turbo pressure and we did the rest of the stage, which was almost the whole stage without turbo pressure.
Petter, you slipped down to third position overall. What happened on stage 22?
Nothing. I just feels like I didn't have any grip at all, and I'm putting on softer tire now and see if that is the correct thing. But I'm trying, you know. I did, you know, just a couple of mistakes in there, and nothing that you're losing much on. But it was too much. But like I said, we knew it would be difficult to beat the Peugeots here today because it's just straight line, fast.
Harry, you're up to second overall now, and an amazing time on stage 22, 21 seconds faster than anybody else.
Oh, it's going fantastic, and of course now is our time to ride what we can, and because it's in afternoon is anyway 2 long stages, and we try to continue the same.
And so to stage 23, Bannister West, the second longest of the day at nearly 35 kilometres. With Carlos Sainz rumoured to be heading to Hyundai next year, Ford's assault on the 2003 World Championship looked as though the entrusted to the two men were scrapping for 6th. It was certainly a thrilling affair, with Martin determined to regain the upper hand on stage 23, but it was a mistake by the Belgian driver which would settle matters. Duval eventually manages to restart the car and starts to drive on, but he quickly realises that the battle with his teammate is over and pulls up. You can clearly see the huge dent in the driver's door, and Duval was airlifted to hospital as a precaution. So one of the contests within the top 6 was settled, but Mäkinen was only 15 seconds or so ahead of Sainz, and so the Subaru driver couldn't afford to relax just yet. In addition, there'd be problems ahead for Mäkinen when a weight check revealed the Impreza to be underweight. The penalty for such an offence is exclusion, so the Finn would have to tackle the final stage with a cloud over his head. A new windscreen and bodywork and a repaired turbocharger meant Sainz's Ford Focus was flying once again, but the Spaniard would lose nearly 5 seconds to Mäkinen on the stage. The battle for second place was next on the agenda.
Jatkaa pitkä oikein täys. 400. Hai pitkä oikein täys. Aukee ylös.
Rovanperä was a stunning 23 seconds faster than Sainz. The challenge to Solberg had clearly been laid down. Despite the fact that Petter's fan club had made the long journey to Australia, they couldn't inspire their hero, it seemed. It now looked as though Solberg was happy to settle for 3rd, rather than risk yet another retirement, and he was over 16 seconds slower than Rovanperä. Grönholm was second fastest, getting within 5 seconds or so of his colleague's time. No matter, just one stage now stood between the new world champion and his 5th victory of the season. This had been another classic Grönholm performance. His first Rally Australia win 2 years ago had put him on course for his first world title, and even though he's already sewn up the 2002 crown, a victory is still a victory.
You've won every stage today. Do you think you can win the last one?
I hope so. I hope really that, and rally is not over yet.
Very happy with the place I have, but still, you know, I just want so much to fight further up there, but hard work.
David, there seems to be some concern over Tommy's car. Can you just explain that for us?
Yeah, at the end of the last stage, the cars were weighed, and according to the scales there, Tommy's car appears to be very light, and it's a weight that we can't understand. We wish we could achieve that weight, and it was 20 kilos lighter, for instance, than Petter's car, which, as far as we're concerned, is exactly the same in the same specification, and it was a miraculous 40 kilos lighter than it was the previous time. So we need to try and understand where the inconsistencies come from and see if there's a logical explanation for it.
Stage 24, Bannister North, and the final 36.8 kilometres. After a strong drive, Juha Kankinen and co-driver Juha Repo retired their Hyundai from 9th place with engine failure, so none of the 3 accents finished. Both the Skoda Octavias finished the rally, however. Tony Gardemeister 7th, with Kenneth Eriksson 2 places behind his Finnish teammate. also used the downhill section over the jumps and through the water splash. Marco Martin and Michael Hart headed down the hill, relieved to finish 6th, and so pick up the first of the points.
55 plus left, tightens to 3, and 6 right over big jump, 20, 6 left over jump, 70, 4 plus left into 3 plus right water, 2 left, 3 right, 20, 3 right.
Sainz would lose another 10 seconds or so to Mäkinen, hardly able to believe his bad luck at that roll in the ruts of stage 22. The Ford Focus would have an incident-free run this time, on its way to finishing 5th. That cloud over Mäkinen was getting darker by the minute. The rally stewards would meet later to discuss the car's weight infringement, and despite being 3rd fastest on the final stage, 4th place was beginning to look doubtful. Sure enough, Mäkinen and Lindström would later be excluded. Solberg's Impreza had passed all its checks, and with Petter proposing to his girlfriend Pernilla in the days before the rally, all in all it had been a great weekend for the Norwegian driver. He might not have retaken 2nd place, but he'd shown he could take the fight to Roman Perra.
Opens 30, keep right to the crest and 6 left narrow, 6 right plus over finish.
But, as on so many occasions this year, it finished at Peugeot 1-2. Roman Perra wasn't able to complete the clean sweep of stage wins, but the important work had already been done, and Harry could enjoy 2nd place.
Jatka oikein täys, 3, vasen täys, 120, vasen nopea sisään.
There was, however, no denying Marcus Tonkin his 3rd successive win in Australia and his 5th victory of the year. He and his co-driving brother-in-law Timo Rautiainen had led for 22 of the 24 stages, so their performance was nothing short of crushing.
Well, congratulations, Marcus. The world champion wins again for the 3rd time in a row in Australia.
Yeah, not bad. Now it's good feeling. It has been a long rally for me. No really fight, but now it's good.
Harry, you must be very, very pleased with 2nd overall.
Yes, we tried that very hard yesterday, but today everything's going brilliant and extra more attack because in morning we know it's possible if everything's working well.
Petter, a very, very brave fight from you and Phil, but you just couldn't quite beat those Peugeots here in Australia.
No, it looks quite okay yesterday, but it was different today, that's for sure. But I must say, I'm very happy, very happy. It's podium here, and we're getting some points, and maybe it's possible for 3rd place in the championship. Who knows?
Carlos, this has been a pretty difficult rally for you and Lewis all round.
Yeah, it has been difficult, especially today, but I think I'm quite happy. It was a pity the stupid roll of today, but really it was nothing I can do.
With Mäkinen's exclusion confirmed, this is how the revised results look. Grönholm and Roman Perra making it Peugeot's 9th 1-2 of the year, and Solberg, Sainz, Martin and Gardemeister rounding off the top 6. Loeb finished 7th, while Parsonen brought the Mitsubishi Lancer home in 9th place. However, belonged to the first team, their pair of Finnish drivers. The Peugeot team boss's speech sounding a little familiar.
And I think that what Marcus has done is no need of comments. What Ari has done this morning is fantastic, and we are really very proud. We are full of joy, so it's another good moment. Each victory has a special taste. This one has a really important taste.
Grönholm's victory, of course, means little since he's already won the driver's title, but the battle to be runner-up is still far from settled. Burns, McRae, Sainz, Knudsen, Roman Perra, and even Solberg can still finish 2nd in the championship, depending on what happens on the final round in Wales. In the series for manufacturers, however, Ford claims 2nd place behind Peugeot, and the only remaining battle is to decide who finishes 4th. The World Rally Championship returns to Europe in its final round Great Britain, the traditional stinging tale of the series will be very different to this weekend, with fog, rain and thick mud virtually guaranteed. Ukraine Burns have to show who's boss on their home event. But on his current form, who's to say Marcus Grunlow won't repeat his victory here in Australia, leaving the others to fight for the remaining places. Join us in Wales in just a couple of weeks' time, but from Perth and an incident-packed Rally Australia, goodbye.